Statesman Nation, here with Trevor Strong, our second-year defensive backs and special teams coach.
Yep.
I knew I was going to get all that wrong. For the football team, I'm going to talk a little bit about the positions that he coaches, and then also break down Peru State, as well as talk about a couple weeks ago against Avila. So, Coach, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, absolutely.
As far as, I guess, like I said, off camera, talk a little bit about the special teams side of things and defensive backs. Namely, obviously, Winston Green's had a great start to the year. 5 interceptions, 3 taken back to the house. So that's something that doesn't happen every year. But I guess, just talk about, both of those areas and where you guys kind of stand now and how you feel about how things are going there.
Okay. In terms of special teams, I kind of got thrown into it a little bit.
Right.
So it's only my second year doing special teams, and it was kind of something I got thrown into last year after Coach Griff left.
Right.
But it's been really fun, and I played on special teams in college and, did things like that. So it was kind of a natural thing for me to take over, and, it's been really good for us. We blocked a few kicks this year.
Mm-hmm.
Our extra points have been awesome this year, so special teams has been a strength for us this year.
Yeah.
So it's really fun. Special teams is an opportunity for guys to get on the bus that might not travel.
Right, definitely.
A lot of young guys get playing time on special teams, so it's fun to coach them up, and they're always excited about being on them.
Right.
In terms of the secondary, most of our guys that are in the secondary played a lot last year.
Yeah, they did. Right.
So really, we have a pretty good group in terms of leadership and in terms of experience. Winston actually wasn't even starting.
No, exactly.
Before the year started.
Moved in with some injuries,
So he got moved to basically kind of our linebacker safety hybrid position.
Yeah.
So he's kind of been playing a little bit of both, but has started at Broncos, what we called it.
Right. Kind of a nickel situation.
It's basically a nickel back, but now he's starting all the time, and he barely played the first 2 games, and now he kind of got thrown into a starting role, and he's really done awesome for us.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was taking a nose for the ball out there for sure.
I mean, 5 picks and 3 to the house, that's a pretty big deal. So he's done an awesome job, and then in terms of other guys in our secondary, Baldessari, he's got 4 or 5 picks right now.
Right.
Antonio Brown's getting a lot of looks from the NFL right now at corner, and so it's been kind of exciting. And we got some young guys that had to step up when Walter Eastwood got hurt.
Right.
Josh Vasquez stepped up and
really
played in some big games as a true freshman.
Definitely.
And then Dejan Shaw at the other corner position has been solid for us and played a lot last year too.
Yeah.
So. And
you're getting Walter back. He was banged up there, so I think he's back healthy again. So.
Yep, Walter's good to go now, and so we're feeling pretty good about it. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, overall that secondary, you guys have kind of been a situation of bending but not breaking. I mean, there's a lot of teams that pass the ball pretty well in our conference and giving up some yards, but overall they haven't, scored a ton of touchdowns and haven't just had broken a huge play over and over. If it has, it's been maybe as a missed tackle or something. But overall, I think the coverage has been really solid.
Yeah. In terms of our, pass D, it's been pretty good. The last few weeks playing Avila and Baker has been a challenge. I mean, they throw the ball 30, 40 times a game. So as a DB coach, it's kind of a nightmare to prepare for. But our guys have responded really well, and they've played awesome. And the biggest thing that our secondary's done, in my opinion, this year is cause turnovers. Yeah. And and limited big plays. Yeah. There's a few times where we've given up some big plays, but for the most part, we're not giving up those big plays that we did last year. So that's huge for us. Yeah. I mean, like you said, bend don't break. So.
Right. And honestly, unless something weird happens, Peru State is the mirror image of us. So you guys have a week off this week for the most part. They'll probably throw it 5 to 10 times at most. Yeah. More than likely. So we'll talk about Peru State in a second, but let's rewind here. Avila 2 weeks ago, before the bye week. Just break down that game a little bit. A lot of points obviously scored. Yeah. They did move the ball quite a bit, but obviously, again, Winston 2 pick sixes, and we came up with plenty of other plays to hold them at bay.
Yeah, Avila, their offense, we have to give them credit. They did some really good things against us, and we had trouble stopping their run game a little bit, and they got some big pass plays on us. And in the secondary of that game, we had 2 guys go down with injuries, and so we're kind of throwing guys in and out, and it was hard to get in a rhythm almost. And when you're getting pick sixes, obviously that's that's great for us. But then you got to throw your defense right back out on the field.
Right.
And so there were times where it was like we were kind of scrambling a little bit, and they're such fast pace that there were times where they caught us kind of on our heels a little bit, but. Overall we played pretty good. Obviously, our offense really came together last week against Avila, and that helps take pressure off the defense, and they did an awesome job preparing them for Avila. So obviously they moved the ball on us a little bit more than we wanted to, but you're going to get that with spread offenses. So.
Yeah, they're going to pick up their yards. But like you said, in the end, you shut them down when you needed to, and even though they got close to 500 yards, 30 points, and isn't that much. It didn't result in an extremely high-scoring game that it very well could have been.
Yeah.
Then you guys get the bye week. Nice week to, get a little healthier, recuperate, just try to, and then figure out, I guess, get ready for these final 5 games, which are the biggest 5 games, obviously, back in getting into North Division play. And obviously preparing for Peru State. I don't know how much you guys looked at all that stuff, but I guess talk about the bye week a little bit, and just more than anything, I'm sure it was, hey, let's take a little bit of a mental break and be able to breathe, and hopefully again get everybody healthy. Yeah,
the bye week couldn't have been timed better for us. I mean, kind of being in the middle of the season, right before divisional play starts, it's a good break for us. Even the coaches enjoy it, to have a few days off and things like that. But we had some injuries, lingering throughout the first couple of weeks, and a lot of those guys are getting healed up with that, 2-week break basically. So that's been awesome for us. Only practiced a couple times last week, so those guys got a couple days off and can recuperate and kind of set their mind for this next 5 weeks, which is going to be really important.
So you grind, definitely.
So I mean, and we still have all of our goals ahead of us. As long as we win out, we can win conference and make the playoffs. So
definitely.
Our guys are motivated right now, and the bye week's kind of a deep breath, and now let's go. We're ready to go. So
exactly. Finally, Peru State, like I said, mirror image. They're going to run the ball in their option attack, and it's basically who's going to do it better.
Yeah. Like you said, I mean, they run the triple option, and very similar to the way that we run it.
Right.
It's almost identical. So, it's kind of a strength for both defenses because we see so much of it. Spring ball and fall camp, we play against triple option almost every day, and so our guys have seen it before, and especially our older guys, they understand it, and they, understand their assignments and stuff like that. So it's a positive for us on defense just because we see so much of it. And obviously the biggest thing is you just have to be assignment sound. And when your guys have experience at knowing, who has pitch, who has dive, who has quarterback, then good things happen. Last year we had some success against them stopping the run, and they actually threw on us a little bit last year. I think we held them under 100 yards rushing, and then they passed for like 180. And it was kind of, unexpected.
Kind of definitely.
And kind of like you talked about earlier as a DB coach, the other thing is that they kind of lull you to sleep a little bit as a secondary. You're out there all game, and they're not throwing out at you.
I'm getting blocked again, I'm getting blocked again.
Right, exactly.
Not really.
And then the one time that they throw it, and then it's, so really the big coaching point for our guys this week in the secondary is that they just gotta stay locked in. Don't get lulled to sleep because they're gonna try to hit some big plays.
And it'll be the same respect on our end, I'm sure, is that, it's going to be 15 straight runs, and then all of a sudden somebody's going to pop one long and see if somebody can track down the ball. So, beyond like everything you said, what are some of the other keys to success? Like I said, I think it's really just going to come down to execution. Who can do what they do best better?
Honestly, turnovers will probably play a big role in it, especially the triple option teams. If you can cause a couple turnovers, that can really, slow things down for them. Anytime that you can get your offense an extra possession, that's huge, especially in triple option, just because time management's so big for us. So that's going to be a big key. And then last year we blocked a punt against them. That was a huge play. So I think a special teams play will probably be pretty big for us this year. So can't really tell you what it's going to be because you never know. But usually one special teams play is going to make a big difference in the game. So I could see that playing out. And then, offensively, as long as we keep doing what we're doing and, put enough points on the board, I think our defense will step up to the challenge and do some good things this weekend. So.
And again, we didn't talk about it, but it is homecoming week, and that's always a big deal, especially for the upperclassmen, some of the their former teammates coming back potentially, and it's just always a big crowd. It's a big game. Everybody should get up for it. It's not as big as per se Grandview, but it's a big game for all the kids, and they really want to perform well. I assume you guys talked about that a little bit. For the most part, it's probably been just another game, right?
Yeah. We try to just take it week by week, and obviously homecoming kind of puts a bigger stage for us, but. We try to take it week by week and not treat it, any differently. But we know that there's going to be a big crowd there, and we always want to play well in front of guys that played through the program before, and all the alumni that are going to be there. You want to show up for it,
right?
And I think since Coach Hafner's been here, I think he's lost one homecoming game.
It's been a nice little streak. So he came right before I did. So we've had a nice little run here.
So it's awesome winning on homecoming. We always have a ton of recruits on homecoming and stuff like that. So it's a big weekend for us, but we try to just keep it the same as we do every single week, and just take it week by week and not treat it any differently. So
exactly. All right. Well, thanks, Coach, for sitting down for a little while. Again, 1 o'clock start against Peru State on Saturday. So if you can't make it out to the game, you can watch it on the internet as well as MCG7. If you're in town, just not able to come out. Otherwise, it should be. I believe it's going to be a beautiful day. I haven't looked at that forecast, but hopefully a beautiful day for homecoming. A lot of people back. Check out the Statesman against the Bobcats. So thanks again, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thank you.